Hello and welcome to an Everyday Canines video. In this episode on training weaves, I'm going to do a bit of troubleshooting. So in this troubleshooting session, I want to talk about the stride of the dog through the weaves. Now, this can be a thing that gets confusing for the dog, and the trainer looks at it and you handle it, and you go, my dog does some of them too poor, some of them are bounce, and what should my dog be doing? It does depend on the size of the dog. Smaller dogs tend to bounce with both paws together. Bigger dogs tend to do the side paddle because it's easier for them. There are variations within each breed. It's what suits the dog best. But what we want to see our dog doing an even foot pattern all the way through the weaves. So let's have a look at Magpie. Let's see what she does. Sit. So this time when she's weaving, I'm going to watch her and see what she's doing with her footwork. You could obviously also set up a camera if you want to concentrate on the weave behaviour and then look back. Ready? Weavers. She's a 2-foot bouncer. Now, you can see she could do with a little bit more confidence at points. At one point she almost did what they do is they sometimes do this. That's the slow way of doing it. So what you want is a bounce where it's both feet at the same time. At one point, and you notice it was where we had the split for the 6 and she went, am I carrying on? I noticed she did a 2-step like that. So she put one foot and then the other foot, but then she got back into the bounce rhythm. So that's her rhythm, and it was right from the start. We can look at that again just to be sure we got it right. Weavers. Now we had a little bit more 2-pawing that time. That was because partly she was looking and she noticed Swift was around. Good girl. But I know that her ideal is the 2-paw. So what happens if you've got a bit like this and your dog's doing a little bit sometimes 2-paw and not always doing the paddle, or they're doing this and that? How do we help them? And one of the ways you can do that is you can go back to a slight channel. So mine are channel weaves as well, but they are fixed in place. So with a slight channel, we would bring them out, not far, I'd say about a foot width. So you put your foot there on the bar and you bring the pole out a foot width. This opens up a slight gap and it gives the dog that opportunity to practice its striding. Now, you're saying I don't have channel weaves. This is when I say if you've got a stick in the ground weaves, this is the one time I'm going to say these are a really good advantage to have when you're training. If you can't afford a set of weaves like this, or you've got a set of weaves and they don't split or they don't channel, then getting those stick in the grounds, they actually work really well because you can set them up exactly as you want. Right, to do channel weaves with your stick in the ground, you first would set them up in a straight line and make sure they've got the correct gap between them. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put every alternate pole out to the left by about the width of your foot. Always to the left, not to the right, because don't forget the dog bends the left. So if you imagine this is your first pole, your dog is going to be bending to the left and then squimming around. And you do that, you alternate them until you've got them set up that slight channel, and then you get your dog to go through it couple of times, 2-3 times. Then I'd close them up again to see if the dog can do it with them closed. This is just getting the dog to stride a bit more. It's all about confidence. The stride is about confidence. So sometimes we need to open them up a little bit to get that confidence. So try that. Hopefully that will help with the stride pattern, and then once you're closed up you can be away. Go with it. So I hope that helps. And you can always give me feedback if you've got more things you want me to discuss and you've got things that are happening and you want me to help troubleshoot. So I hope you've enjoyed this Everyday Canines video. If you have, you might like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can check us out on Facebook, Instagram and now TikTok. And I hope to see you all again very, very soon.